Hey everyone, Jake here. I know I'm mostly about men's mental health. This was just kind of an impromptu video, and it still pertains to men, but I think it pertains to just anybody in general, really. And if you're coming from the Facebooks or the Instagram, welcome back. If you're returning, if this is your first time, welcome. So I'm going to jump right into it. Okay, tell me if this is you, if this sounds familiar to you. I woke up this morning and I slept well. Everything's fine. I went to brush my teeth and I looked in the mirror and I saw some neck stuff going on here, some chubby face stuff going on. I looked at myself and I started judging myself harshly. And I was in the military. So basic training, they would really drill us hard and we got used to it. That was something that just doesn't affect me, but I started incorporating that mindset into my daily life and it's carried over. And I think that's it can be part of the resiliency that I felt and that I feel sometimes over subtle things that really don't require you to be gentle to yourself and this, that, and a third. But in some instances, we're not super aware of how we're talking to ourselves about stuff. Is just like in my example, my weight. I feel like I can see it. I don't know if y'all can see it. Probably you can probably see it. But I was really getting in here. I talked about it in my last video, escaping your own thoughts, as far as pulling these negative thoughts out, because that's what's going to be holding you back the most. So what I was telling myself was, man, you look, oof, you've had better days, buddy. You should probably drop some weight, you lazy sack of stuff. I used some pretty harsh language, but I'm not going to say it here. But if you can relate to that, then I'm going to tell you right now, and I've had to learn this. I had to learn this. Is we are our own worst critics. We are the worst critics of ourselves. I think that has something to do with society and how we've been brought up lately in the past decades, but ultimately you are in charge of your inner dialogue. Nobody else is talking in your head unless you allow them to stay there rent free. But you're in charge of how you're feeling. You can pull yourself out, but we've developed these kinds of habits. If you don't, it's mostly subconscious because it's taken years and decades for you to even acknowledge that I had to spend a bunch of time just acknowledging that that's how I talk to myself. But when you talk to yourself like that, you invite so many negative possibilities to your. So say for instance, I held that same idea, that same thought process throughout my day. If I didn't catch myself and I was going with that thought process the entire day, you think I'm going to be pretty good at hiding it from anybody? You think my day is going to turn out better than if I had just let it go, as far as acknowledging it, getting it out of my brain, and then doing everything that I could possibly do to make my day better? That leads to, say, if you stayed in that thought process, the people that know you. They will know that something is up. You think that you're good at hiding. I thought I was good at hiding how I felt, especially if I was feeling bad and being in a constant state of depression. Yeah, you're not hiding anything from anybody, bud. That's sorry to say. Sorry, not sorry to say, but that's exactly what happens. Right? So get out of here. You're the only one that can pull you out of that. You don't want these negative thoughts to emanate from you. You don't want them to hijack your mood. So whenever these things are happening, I'll give you, I'm not a licensed therapist or any of that stuff, but I would tell you, if this is how you feel consistently or constantly, I would tell you this. This is a tool that I've got in my tool belt working on myself. And it's been a long journey, but I'm starting to recognize the signs. I'm starting to be more mindful and be more aware of where my thoughts are and where I am. So that way I can project what I want to attract. So I want positive stuff in my life. That doesn't mean that you're going to be 100% positive all the time. But if you're aware, if you're mindful, if you're conscious that you're feeling certain ways, that's a game changer, because then you can make a conscious effort to improve your day instead of stagnating and letting it sit, and you've just wasted the whole day being mad or being sad or being so many different things. So I would challenge you, if this is something that is consistent with you, or if you find yourself in that mental state putting yourself down, I would challenge you, when you start to see it, first of all, start to recognize and acknowledge that it's happening. A lot of times we'll make excuses. I think I said that in the last video. We'll make excuses for how we're feeling. No, toss that aside. When you start to feel that way, think about what you're saying negative to yourself. Think about, I don't want the rest of my day to be this way. Stop criticizing yourself. And I would say this as advice. This is advice that I've had to take to heart. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace. You're doing a good job. And I believe that you can pull yourself out of that predicament anytime it happens. It's going to take some practice, and it's going to take some real intentional effort to get to that point, to recognize and acknowledge, and then pull those negative thoughts out, so that way they don't hijack your mood and they don't hijack your day or your week. Practice it. I guarantee you, the moment you do that, those intrusive negative thoughts are going to become less and less of an issue. You're going to start having more energy. You're going to start feeling better. So I believe in you. Anybody listening that takes anything out of this, you got this, all right? That's all I wanted to say. Tried to keep this video as short as possible. That's just quote unquote shower thoughts. But I saw that when I was doing it to myself, and I had to pull myself out, because then I knew the rest of my day was going to be nothing. It's going to be horrible. And I'd rather not project onto other people how I'm actually feeling inside. Nobody wants that. So that's my challenge for you. If you start to feel that way, give yourself some grace. You deserve it. And I know you can do it. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. Just some of my thoughts. And until the next one, I hope you have a great week. And I hope this video has helped in some sort of a way. Okay? I'll see y'all next time.